Hey, it's Vaughn here at your jazzdrumschool.com YouTube channel. Aloha, hope you're doing well. So I want to share with you today in this video about one of the most important things, most powerful things you can do for your drumming. So recently I did a poll on my YouTube channel asking y'all what is your favorite thing, your favorite aspect of jazz drumming. And we had improvisation at 26%, swing feel 29%, syncopation 5%, and the winner, rhythmic conversation with other instruments 40%. This is the thing for me, folks, that separates jazz from every other kind of music. Is this incredible conversation of rhythm and melody and harmony that happens throughout every song that we play in jazz. And the drums in particular are free to do what we want to do. So we don't just have to be going bang, bop, all the way through. We can actually really converse with our instrument. Now, one of the most important things you got to do is you got to have dynamics. Let me demonstrate for you. 1, 2, up, down. So I'm sure you could tell the difference, right? The first part, I'm just all out kind of wailing on the drums. And don't get me wrong, playing hard on the drums is a lot of fun. It sounds great, yes, that's a lot of fun to play. But it's not really a conversation, is it? If I then add some dynamics to it and add some shape to what I'm doing, which I did in the second part, then you kind of get a feel that something's happening here. I'm trying to really communicate something on the drums more than just kind of a wall of noise. So like in our daily conversations, we're going to have dynamics, right? Sometimes I'm going to talk a little softer so that you can talk. Sometimes you're going to talk a little softer so I can talk. We're going to be thinking about other things. Maybe sometimes I'm thinking about something you said, and I may talk a little softer, or I may even just not talk at all, leaving space, right? Which is the ultimate zero dynamic. Or I might be kind of ramping up, getting excited about something, and I'll talk like this, and I'll get really excited. But in general, I'm not going to talk like this the whole time when I'm talking to you, because you'd go crazy and you'd be looking for somebody else to talk to, right? I mean, that's kind of nuts. So the same approach is really important in playing drums, especially playing jazz drums, because we want the dynamics to be interwoven to everything we say. It allows us to really communicate things to the other musicians. So what I want to do now is give you a phrase, a 4-measure phrase. And there's a PDF, you can download it and put the link up here and also down below in the description. And what we're going to do is we're just going to take this one 4-measure phrase and we're going to give it shape in 3 ways, 3 dynamic shapes. One is we're going to crescendo, which means we're going to start soft and we're going to get louder, okay? And by the end of it. So the beginning of the 4-measure phrase is going to be really soft. The end of the 4-measure phrase is going to be loud. You can be as loud as you want, but start off as soft as you possibly can. Be as quiet as you can. The second way is we're going to start off loud and end up very soft. So start off as loud as you want, but end up very, 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 very quiet. The third way is we're going to start off soft, get loud, and then get soft again. So we're going to crescendo, and then we're going to decrescendo. So we're going to, first one again is crescendo. The second way is decrescendo, or meaning getting softer. And the third way is doing a crescendo into a decrescendo. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four. So when we're playing our drums, if we're always hitting them at the same dynamic level, for instance, always hitting them hard, we're only going to hear kind of that sound or that side of the sound of that particular part of the drum set, like the ride cymbal or the snare drum. If we hit things at softer dynamics, we're going to hear it differently. Different frequencies are going to kind of resonate more than others, and it's the whole instrument itself, like for instance the ride cymbal will vibrate differently than it will when we're hitting it harder. So we really want to allow the full range of your drums and your cymbals to come through by just adding in some dynamics. So one other point I want to make is that when we're playing quietly, we're using our fine motor skill, which is a whole other bag of tricks than when we're playing hard and we're using gross motor skill. Fine motor skill is just using those really small tendons and muscles in your fingers and your hand and your wrist to actually make sound, as opposed to using your bigger muscles like your upper arm, your biceps, and your triceps, or your forearms to make bigger sounds on the drums. So that's more gross motor. The fine motor is really hard to master. So when you're playing quietly, you're actually going to be training that fine motor skill and training those small tendons and small muscles to play with more precision, and will give you a whole nother layer, a whole nother level, like really down here below everything else probably you're used to playing, that's going to allow you to be more expressive on the drums. A final thing I want to mention is that when you're playing this 4-measure exercise, you're going to see combinations of different values of notes, right? You're going to see, for instance, eighth note followed by a dotted quarter note. What I'd like you to try to do is match the articulation of those notes, meaning if you see an eighth note, that's a short note, right? And a short sound on the drum set might be like just a snare drum hit, right? Turn on my snares here, right? There's just a snare drum hit, right? You can also then think like, what sound on the drum set would match a dotted quarter note? Well, probably something bigger and fatter, right? Like a bass drum note, or even a bass drum with a cymbal note, right? Kind of like that. You're crashing the ride cymbal. That works really, really good. So you want to try to match the articulation of what is actually written on the page. This is something we use a lot in big band drumming, where we're kind of setting up the band, and we're really trying to match the articulation of what the horns are playing. So we want to take that into everything we do on the drum set. That will also allow us to be more expressive with our soloing and our ideas that we want to play on the drums. All right, so what I encourage you to do is take the 4-measure phrase, be sure you download the PDF, and take that 4-measure phrase and kind of work it around the drums. Really work on those 3 different ways I was telling you for practicing your dynamics. You can use it in a jazz context like we're doing here, because you're at jazzdrumschool.com YouTube channel, or you can use it in any kind of like a Could say like a samba or bossa nova context, or any kind of other, pop context, whatever you want. But for the purposes of this video, I'm just focusing on the jazz. If you haven't already, I'd love it if you'd subscribe to my channel. Be sure to like the video if you like it. That helps it kind of move and groove around YouTube a little easier. Be sure to drop a comment also and let me know if this video was helpful for you, and let me know if there's any other kind of video you'd like to see here at my channel. All right, keep swinging, my friend.